The continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Betty Anderson Cord once was married to Rodney Harrington. The marriage was brief and ended in divorce. But the maturing of two young people has found Betty and Rodney planning marriage again. Suddenly, however, Betty has learned that the missing Allison, who had been seeing Rodney, gave birth to a baby. Tonight, Betty feels that Rodney is drawn to thoughts of the girl he once loved.
Hello.
I can't stop thinking about that baby. I went to see Jill this afternoon in her rooming house. And I asked every question I could think of. How she met Allison, when, where. It all fits. Has to be true.
What has to be true?
That baby is mine.
Did Jill tell you that?
She didn't have to.
I said you asked her every question you could think of.
Allison didn't say who the father was.
Maybe she doesn't know who it was.
I know.
How can you know?
Because I know Allison.
But you can't be that naive.
Look, Allison wasn't like...
Wasn't like what? Allison wasn't like what? Like other girls. Like me.
Betty. Betty, what I'm trying to say is that for a relationship to go that far, it would take a long time, and it wouldn't be just anyone.
Just you?
Just me.
Not nobody rates a pedestal that high. Allison or you.
Betty, I'm not nominating anybody for sainthood, especially not me. But Allison had something...
Something special. Does that mean there could never be another time or another man?
That baby has to be mine.
Well, it doesn't have to be mine. So don't expect me to play mother to Allison Mackenzie's baby. Just because you can't face your own conscience. You want a way out. You've got it.
Kelly asleep?
Just about.
You know something, Connie? We just can't duck this thing any longer.
No, we're going to have to deal with Kelly's illegitimacy. Not try to conceal it. We can't give her the same emotional handicaps we gave Allison. But whatever her reaction, it's bound to be better than Allison's.
That was a completely different set of circumstances.
Oh, Elliot, the stories I told, the lies I made up to keep Allison from knowing the truth. I gave her a completely distorted view of life. Wrecked all her chances of happiness.
You damn right choice. You had to do it.
Yes, that's the justification I gave myself. Everybody made it so easy for me. I remember my mother when we came home after Allison was born. She welcomed me with open arms. She was so understanding. I thought to myself, well, this isn't too bad. We're going to make it. Till one day I heard my mother talking on the phone to a friend about my husband.
Oh, honey, she was only trying to help. Oh.
I know, and I was not strong enough to refuse it. I let the lies get so big until they finally swallowed me and Allison. I remember the day we went to Boston to find me a husband. We went to the dime store. We walked up and down in front of the picture frame counter. We weren't interested in the picture frames. Only the pictures. When I saw my mother pause in front of a picture of a pilot in a Navy uniform, I knew I'd found my husband.
And there he sat, up on that mantel for 18 years. Smiling his innocuous smile.
And helping me perpetrate my lie. The lie that finally tore Allison and me apart.
What do you suggest, anyway? A banner, a headline on the Clarion, or engraved announcements that Mr. and Mrs. Elliot Carson announced the birth of their granddaughter, Kelly. Mother's whereabouts unknown, father yet to be proven.
We could take custody, legally. Allison's our daughter.
You really think that would solve everything?
No, but it'd be a step in the right direction. After all, if we learn to live with the truth, maybe Kelly can too.
That Kelly?
Yes, she knows she's in a strange place. You should have seen the way she stared at that strange lady that put her to bed. Oh, I didn't kiss her goodnight.
Neither did I.
I was going to wait another few minutes and then leave a note. I had a visit from Stephen.
What was on his mind?
He made sure I was briefed in full about the girl who claims she has Allison's child.
Why, so you could give me some fatherly advice about my responsibility. It all works for him, doesn't it? But not for you. I guess that's why you're here, to protect your interest. See that my conscience doesn't come between Betty and me.
Don't confuse conscience with poor judgment, son. Stephen will take advantage of your conscience and ruin your whole life if you let him.
Maybe. But I just can't turn my back on that child.
Is there any proof that the child's yours?
Oh, I just got off that merry-go-round with Betty.
I assume Betty doesn't want the child. Can you blame her?
I'm not blaming anyone.
But yourself for what happened to Allison. Stephen knows that, and he'll use your sense of decency as a weapon against you.
That upsets your apple cart, doesn't it, Dad?
I was only trying to help you get a fix on what's right for you, Rod.
You also have a fix on Grandfather's estate. Of course, if I break up with Betty, I blow it for you, don't I?
True. I broke up your marriage to Betty. No one else did. I did. But I thought I could make up for it now if I could make you see what Stephen's doing. That way, maybe you'd have a good, clean, honest second chance. But I guess I cried wolf too many times.
Dad, listen.
Three of them were very good.
An iron skull with a glass jaw. What a combination, huh?
Well, I don't know. He looked pretty good to me.
He didn't even have a defense. Gibson snuck in there and zoom, really laid it to him.
What is it, one night at the fights at the White River Armory of all places, now you think you can write a boxing column or something, eh?
Ever since the first minute of the first round, I knew he was going to eat the canvas. It was just like he had a sign hung on tap on this and watch me fall apart.
Go on, it was a lucky punch.
A lucky punch?
Yeah, sneak right in.
All right. Come on. Prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah, come on.
What, are you kidding?
Oh, come on.
Lose my amateur standing?
Come on.
Hey.
Huh? I'm sorry. I mean, I really tried to miss, Mike.
Sure.
I mean, no kidding. I really tried to miss. I mean, I guess my hands are a little too schooled. You know, they got an instinct of their own.
Right.
Huh? Come on. You be Harris, I'll be Gibson. Come on. Not bad. Not bad. What's the matter?
I wanted to hit you, that's all. You want a beer? You got some nice moves, you know that? Well, I mean, not like a kid out on the street. It's like you had some training or something.
Oh, Golden Gloves.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't get very far. Second elimination.
Lucky puncher?
No, it was 2 against 1. There was this guy named Charlie Mulvaney and our dear, devoted sister.
Oh, Lisa didn't want you to fight, huh?
Oh, I could have handled that. But she was all for it. I mean, she would come down to the gym and watch me train.
That wasn't a very cool idea, I suppose.
Well, you know what gyms are all about. The rubbing alcohol and all that sweat. I mean, women are about as welcome as a Charlie horse.
She was probably just proud of you.
Yeah, that's what she kept saying. There's my little brother. He's the handsome one in the dark purple trunks. You know that Mulvaney was a grade A pasteurized bum. I mean, the only thing that kept him standing was the elastic in his trunks. I mean, just as I'm moving in for the kill, zap, I hear this voice. Don't let him hurt your face, Joey. I froze. And he brought one up from the floor.
That was Lisa. I guess you blame her.
Nah. Having somebody down there, even Lisa, was better than nothing. You were here. You can't be in 2 places at once. Even I know that.
Look, if you just let me know, you know. I mean, I would have tried to go down there and see you.
Why didn't you ask? Why is it the only time I would see you was when I was in trouble? Hmm?
It always goes back to that, doesn't it?
That's the only place it can go.
Yes.
It's me, Joe.
Just a minute, Mr. Carson. Come in.
Hi there. Packing, huh?
Kelly's things.
Mind if I sit for a spell?
Whatever.
Does that mean yes or no? Girl. Come now.
I'm all right, Mr. Carson.
Let me ask you a question. When my granddaughter gave you Kelly, was it as hard for her to let go? I mean, was she real worried about what might happen to the baby?
I guess if you know you're doing something right, it really doesn't matter.
I can't imagine Allison thinking that what she did was right.
She knew I'd bring the baby back here.
How could she?
Well, I did, didn't I?
Well, that doesn't prove she was right.
It doesn't prove she was wrong either.
Not in my book. You just can't gamble with a baby's life. You love Kelly as if she were your own, don't you?
Yes.
And yet you're willing to gamble with her, too.
I've done what I had to do, and that's it.
That's what I thought when I came in. I thought you were packing your bag.
Why should I leave?
Why stay? You said you did what you had to do.
I have to be sure that Kelly's all right.
You had to be sure that Constance and Elliot were all right.
Well, of course. You don't expect me to gamble with the baby's life, do you?
Now, don't sass me.
Don't make me sass you.
I just wanted to be sure that you've considered the whole picture.
What picture?
I mean the whole family tintype. What would happen if Allison should come back into it?
You mean if Allison came back here?
That's right. What would you do? Go on. What would you do?
Well, I'd say, hello, Allison.
Sharp tongue wouldn't help. It'd be very confusing for Kelly, wouldn't it? Well, you just think it over. And don't take too long, because the longer you stay, the harder it's going to be to go for both of you. You just keep putting Kelly first.